show you how to utilize these Valentine's Day digital Jamboard templates. So here is the PDF, and if you head to the, what page is this, like 4th or 5th page, you're going to see kind of just some basic directions on how, this can be used and how you can duplicate the slides, delete the slides, and really try to personalize it as much as you can for your classroom. The first option of use is you can add your student's name, one to each slide, so your whole class is represented. And the background is secured, so you can't change the background part of it, but you can add names to it. You can, add Google Images and add text wherever you would like it. And you can also duplicate a slide to make multiple copies in that same Jamboard. So let me go ahead real quick and kind of show you that option. So farther along, there is, let's look at this one. There's the examples and there's pictures of all of them. All of the links are going to show up as make a copy, so that way you can edit it for yourself. You're going to click make a copy. And it's going to show up as copy of that specific one. So for this one, we're going to make it, let's say, let's rename it and call it Palmer's Valentines or something, whatever the kid's name is. You're going to click OK, and then what that means is you're going to give your students this link, and then everyone's going to respond. And what I recommend doing is have them respond on their class number slide, and then at the end, Palmer can get her link and kind of flip through all of her Valentines. So there are only 3 templates in this specific one, but for the other ones, there's more in them as well. So what you're going to do is up here on the top, you can duplicate any of them that you want to make it enough to be however many kids there are in your class. So then each kid has their own slide that they can write, like, to Palmer. And obviously, they can change this up how they want, make it bigger, smaller, different colors. And then they can use a text box, you are the best, whatever they want to type in there. The other cool thing is they can utilize, if you're comfortable with it, they can utilize Google Images. So you could search like Happy Valentine's Day, and some images will pop up, and they can choose it and insert it into their Valentine to kind of just play around with different text features and things like that. So then once all the kids are done filling in Palmer's Valentines, you would click, you could click share, and then you could just share it to her, so that way she gets to see all of her Valentines. But let me take a second real quick to show you how you're even going to share the link in the first place. So after you set it up, like Palmer's Valentines, how many kids you have in your class, and you have all the blank ones ready to go, you're going to click share. And then you're going to go down here, and this is all in the directions as well. You're going to click change to anyone with link. And you want to make it editor, so that way when you copy the link and send it to your students, they can all edit the slides. And the cool part about this is it's collaborative. So like, yes, they can see each other's messages to this person, but it's cool because that student can then kind of flip through their Valentines individually. But you have to make it editor, or else the kids will not be able to edit the slide. They do not need a Google account in order to create these, but I believe if they do have a Google account, they can utilize the Google Images, but if they do not, I'm pretty positive they cannot use those images, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way it is with Google sometimes. And then the other option is, if you flip through here, like I mentioned before, there's going to be pictures of all the different templates. The other option is this one. Here's kind of like an example of it, where each kid would have their own slide. So you would have to label each slide with the student's name, and then all of your students can then write a little message for Courtney on one of the squares or hearts or whatever the clip art is. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 kids have responded so far, but there should be enough for at least 20 for the slides. Let me show you how that one would work. So let's go to this one, for example. I'm going to make a copy again. And the first slide is always going to be an example slide, so I recommend going in and deleting it. You can just click the three dots, delete. But what you would do is you can duplicate this slide for however many you need, but and then you can go back and add the names of your kids. So if like you have 18 kids in your class, you can just click duplicate, and you would make 18 of them, and then you would label like the first one Courtney, the next one Bryant, the next one Stella, your kids' individual names, and then again you're just going to click share, give your kids the editing rights to go into that one link, and then each student will just have one slide with their name on it and then the message from each of their students or their classmates. So the ones, their templates 1 through 20, they all have about 20 or so little hearts or clip art little images that they can then, each person gets like a balloon to write by. That was the goal, to kind of have the spacing available for each student. So that's a separate option. So the first option was name the slide, and then each kid has their own Jamboard where each kid has their own slide to do like a personalized message. Or the other option is you have your whole class represented in just one link, and then each kid has their own page that all the kids respond on. So two, pretty decent options, but you're going to see the links and all the pictures of what each of the templates look like. And again, the first slide is always going to be an example slide with the student name on it, so I recommend erasing that. I just wanted to show you where I placed the name. And in order to just like copy and paste a name in there, what you do, you can either use the text box in the actual product or in the Jamboard. You can just use the Google text box, which is totally fine. It's just going to show up this basic font though, or if you want like a more fun font with a different color, you're just going to head to PowerPoint. If you open up a basic PowerPoint file, you're just going to type your student's name in, and you can change the font and the color however you would like. And then you're just going to Control-C or copy it, paste it into your Jamboard, and then you can fiddle with the sizing however you'd like. And then it just adds like a more fun aspect to each slide. So I've named this one Mrs. Gaines Class 2020. Each of my students is now going to have their own slide. So again, I can add more names using the text box or PowerPoint special fonts. And then each student then will get this link, and each student will get like their own pencil or whatever to write a message to Kane saying, Happy Valentine's Day, whatever they want to do. And then you will have 20 different slides or 18 different slides depending on how many students you have. And then this three dots over here is something neat that you can do, is you can download the whole thing as a PDF. And if you have the option of a color printer at work, you could print them out, and then each student could receive their own. Or you can save the frame as an image. You can literally save the slide as an image and then post it on their Seesaw or their Google Classroom or whatever platform you're using. And then that also goes for the same with the other example of each student filling out their own Valentine per one student. That was the example where we did Palmer's Valentines, and each student got their own. And then again, you can download the whole thing as a PDF, print it for that student so they're paper copies, and like mail them in the mail. Or you can download as a PDF and email it, or save the images with each frame and post it on their virtual learning spot that you utilize. If you have any questions, please let me know. My email is csource1225@gmail.com. I would love to help you out. Happy Valentine's Day!